In today's video, we'll learn about thermometers and the three different temperature scales that are commonly used today. So what is a thermometer? A thermometer are devices used to measure the temperature of an object or a system, and that the expansion of a mass of liquid is used to measure the change in temperature, as an increase in temperature will cause the liquid to expand up the capillary tube. And the common liquids we use today are mercury or alcohol as our expanding liquid. So there are three temperature scales that are used around the world. The first one being the Celsius temperature scale, being the most popular. This scale is based on 100 degrees and defines the range of the freezing point to the boiling point of water. On the Celsius scale, the freezing point of water is equal to 0 degrees Celsius, while the boiling point of water is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. While the Fahrenheit temperature scale differs, we see that its freezing point of water is marked by 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and that the boiling point of water is equal to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a 180 degree difference between the points instead of 100 degrees difference that we see in the Celsius scale. And then finally we have the Kelvin temperature scale. In the Kelvin scale, the size of the degree is identical to the size of the degree on the Celsius scale. So the Kelvin scale is also based on a 100 degree scale. And the temperature in the Kelvin scale is defined and related to the internal energy by using a gas thermometer. By using the Kelvin scale, they were able to define absolute zero, which is when the pressure reaches zero, when the temperature is negative 273.15 degrees Celsius, or defined as 0 Kelvin. And at this point, there's zero kinetic energy of the gas molecules, therefore no motion occurs in this state. In order to convert between our three scales of temperature, we have come up with a few equations to relate the three, them being listed on the left side of your screen, and to the right we see an illustrated version that shows the differences in our three scales. So let's quickly practice converting some of our temperatures into different scales. So we're asked to convert the following temperatures to the values on the Fahrenheit and Kelvin scale. Part A asks us to convert the boiling point of liquid nitrogen, which is a negative 196 degrees Celsius, into Fahrenheit and into kelvins. So if we are given our degrees in a negative 196 degrees Celsius of nitrogen and asked to convert it to Kelvin, we could do so by the following equation that states that temperature in Celsius is equal to our temperature in Kelvin minus 273.15 degrees. Since we're trying to solve for temperature into Kelvin, we can rearrange the equation, which will give us a new equation that states that our temperature in Kelvin is equal to our temperature in Celsius plus 273.15 degrees. And if we simply plug in our value of Celsius into the equation, we have a negative 196 degrees Celsius plus 273.15 degrees will give us our temperature in Kelvin to be equal to 77.15 degrees Kelvin. And now if we were to convert our Celsius to Fahrenheit, we have an equation that states that our temperature in Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 times temperature in Celsius plus 32 degrees. And by simply plugging in our value of our temperature of Celsius into the equation, we see we have 9/5 multiplied by negative 196 plus 32 degrees will give us a temperature in Fahrenheit equal to a negative 320.8 degrees Fahrenheit. And then in part B, we're asked to convert the human body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius into Fahrenheit and Kelvin scales. So since we already rearranged our equation to solve from Celsius to Kelvin, we can use it below, where we see that our temperature in Kelvin is equal to our temperature in Celsius, which is given to us to be 37 degrees Celsius, plus 273.15 degrees will give us a temperature in Kelvin that is equal to 310.15 degrees Kelvin. And now if we were to convert our Celsius into Fahrenheit, we can plug it into our equation that states that 9/5 times our temperature in Celsius plus 32 degrees will give us a temperature in Fahrenheit that is equal to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which should sound familiar for the ideal temperature of the human body.